So this past week, the comedian and actor Rob Schneider has been tweeting in support of a petition to recall Gavin Newsom as the governor of California. And this petition has gotten over 750,000 signatures. Actually, when I looked today at 2:30, it was at just over 800,000. And so that's half of the 1.5 million signatures that they need to be able to hold a special election to replace Newsom. So this is really interesting. This hasn't happened since 2003 when Arnold Schwarzenegger took over for the Dem governor at the time. And so a lot of people are calling for Newsom's replacement because a ton of really major companies in the area have been leaving, such as Tesla, Hewlett Packard, and Oracle. So what I wanted to ask you two is, do we think that they're going to be able to pull it off? Do we think they're going to be able to get enough signatures to kick Newsom out?
Well, I hope so.
You're a Californian.
I really
You're
hope
a Californian,
so. If I
or
ever
at least
have to go back.
a native.
Yeah.
I am.
There, yeah.
I would love to see him gone. You know, nothing against him personally, but
Oh, I've got plenty against
well,
him. But
I
go
want to
ahead.
say
Be gracious.
level-headed. You know, yeah, but
as much as possible, be at peace with all men.
Right. I try to live by that. But this guy is an awful leader.
Absolutely.
He destroyed San Francisco to begin with. We've already seen his track record of what he's done. And he's slowly destroying California.
The plant life in San Francisco, though, on the sidewalks has never been better fertilized. I mean, we need to give him credit. It flourishes. The manure on the sidewalks.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
They've created a new fertilizer.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've witnessed that.
There was a piece a couple of years ago. I want to get back to this. There was a piece a couple of years ago saying that the people they would hire to scoop the feces and stuff, they were making $80,000 a year.
No way.
$80,000
Only in California.
A couple of years ago that was being reported.
Man.
So anyway, okay, keep going.
No, that was good.
You're from California. You're from California. You think he's a terrible choice. You think they need to pull him back.
Yeah, you know, I mean, especially with what's been going on with how he's handling the coronavirus pandemic. He's acting very much like a dictator. And we've talked about this a couple of times before. But I mean, I just got off the phone with my dad and he said, we have a curfew now. Most people know that in California. You have to be home by 10 p.m. He's awful. He's an awful leader. He's overstepped his bounds as a leader. So.
Well, the virus, we do know the virus gets sleepy after 10.
Yes,
and so
right.
This is a case of working smarter, not harder.
There it is.
Who needs vaccines? I mean, you just lock everybody up 10 o'clock at night.
Definitely sound science behind that.
Because science.
Yes.
I mean, what a joke, this idea. So there was a story earlier today. I can't remember if WJ is covering it or not, but I've seen it elsewhere. There's a school where the wrestling program, you can wrestle.
I saw that.
Greco-Roman. This is not,
but you can't
WWE.
handshake, right?
This is exactly.
Yeah.
Full body contact, faces in each other.
No handshaking.
Yeah. But you can't shake hands. You got to sanitize between.
Hands are where all the germs are. They're not anywhere else on the body.
And then there was a story. Late last week. I think this was in the UK, where students were utensils were dangerous.
My gosh, this one
utensils are not sanitary even when clean.
No.
So they're having the kids eat with their hands. So there are kids eating basically mashed potatoes, some horrible British food, eating the equivalent of mashed potatoes with their hands. So nothing says clean and sanitary like your whole
like a child's hand.
Nice.
We know their hands are dirty. Parents know that.
Exactly. So this is absolute craziness. So I agree with you. I think he's a joke. It's really funny. Gray Davis, I think, was the governor who was recalled. He was the last one. He was the one before Schwarzenegger. And Rush used to jokingly call him Gray Out Davis because they kept having power issues with him. And now what have you had under Gavin Newsom? You've had enormous power issues. And these linked, of course, to wildfires. And the wildfires would not be happening if they would actually let the Forestry Service if they would let conservationists do what they need to do, which is rake forests, cut down dead timber and that sort of thing. So this is, what a disastrous. I was reading a piece this morning. How many people did LA lose last year? Tens of thousands of people.
I saw something
People
about that.
just fleeing. New York City lost 300,000 people last year. So people are fleeing. You know, my wife and I were over in LA. This was not just that long ago, and we were struck by the homeless encampments. I mean, you drive over and drive under an overpass.
They're everywhere.
And you'd see these things. And now they're, I saw a great set of pictures yesterday, maybe, of tent homes off the side of the interstate where they would have a makeshift even garage. There's tarps and tents. And there's a spot for the car to drive in. So it's a garage.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not what a successful state looks like.
Yeah.
You know, California in the 60s and the 70s was, I mean, that was where to be. That was the cutting edge of the country's evolution. And now it is just blighted and benighted and just in horrible shape. So pulling Gavin Newsom out. Yeah, I think it would be a fantastic thing. It's neat to see. It's neat to see people waking up. What's super sad though is that it takes putting these people in power and these bureaucrats, this ruling class, these elites, they make their subjects' lives miserable. And it's only after that happens that people wake up.
Understand.
And of course, that's a function of a really bad education system that hasn't taught these voters from a young age, hey, you know, small government is better.
Yeah.
Less control is better. More local control is better. Lower taxes is better. Conservative welfare schemes are better than liberal ones. So, you know, we've not taught our kids this.
Yeah.
And the kids grow up to vote, and they vote in people like Gavin, and then Gavin does some really stupid stuff, and then this is what happens.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
do you have any other thoughts on it? Any last thoughts on
do
it?
we think that this is going to make other Democratic governors that have really been pushing strict COVID restrictions take a step back?
Or do we because they're a little afraid that they'll end up like Newsom.
The natives are restless.
Yeah.
We'll see that,
I personally don't think so. I think that they're going to continue to do what they're doing. I hope Newsom is removed, but I don't know if you said it was 800,000 now. I don't know if that's enough.
They have to get to 1.5 million. Yeah.
Exactly.
By March.
Do you know how? So by
it's possible.
They've got
a
lots
long
Never
way to
mind.
Do you remember when they launched? You may not say. I don't know.
No,
Okay,
that's
so
a great question.
they've got 3 months.
Yeah.
I retract that statement. I think it's quite possible actually. Till March, that's they've already gotten 800,000.
Yeah.
So
they
have a lot of
raise
time.
enough awareness about it to get them out of there.
Yeah, well, I hope so. We'll see.
This is one time that I really wish I was a California resident.
Yeah.
The one time.
The
only
one
time.
The only time.
time.